So joined here by Graham Roberts, former Tottenham Hotspur defender. Graham, going back to the 1981 FA Cup final against Man City, the first game, a 1-1 draw. What was that game like being part of, first of all, the FA Cup final?
Oh, well, it was an amazing... it was the 100th Cup final. And for me, coming from non-league football the year before, within 1 year, I'm playing at Wembley in an FA Cup final with Tottenham and against Man City. And I remember it well because sort of just before half-time, I went to head a ball and Chris Hughton put his foot in my mouth and I lost 3 teeth. So that was an eventful game, the first one. Having been 1-0 down at half-time through Tommy Hutchinson, we didn't play particularly well that day as a team, but we stuck in there, and then Glenn Hoddle took a free kick, hit Tommy Hutchinson's shoulder and sent Joe Corrigan the wrong way, and we got back into it 1-1. So, yeah, it was an amazing day walking out on that pitch. The FA Cup meant something in them days, and, it was a great experience.
Definitely. And someone who we'll talk about come the replay, Ricky Villa, in that first game, he got substituted off. What type of game did Ricky have in that first game? And was he really gutted at being subbed off?
Well, yeah, with Ricky, you either got an amazing game or not even an average game, a poor game. You know, he never really hit that, he could never have an average game like 2 or 3. It was either a really fantastic game or a poor game. And, he said to Ozzy after the game, Ozzy, how did I play? And Ozzy said, you was absolute garbage. He said, and the story goes, Josh, that the gaffer went to Stevie Perriman and said to Stevie, he was a captain, what about Ricky on Thursday? And Stevie said, no, you can't play him. You can't play him Thursday. And Keith said, well, he's the first name on the pitch, on the team sheet. So it worked out perfect for Keith that time because what Ricky did in the replay. But, Ricky was poor in the first game. And, everybody, you look at it and maybe he was lucky to play in the second game, but what he did in that second game was amazing.
Definitely. And, of course, in that second game, in the replay, everyone knows the goal he scored. It's repeated every year when the FA Cup comes round. But he scored 2 goals that night. What was, before we go on to Ricky's, the third goal, his second goal, what was that replay like? You mentioned how special it was stepping out at Wembley for the first game, but Wembley under the lights must have been really special playing under the lights in that replay.
Well, Josh, in them days, it was a special occasion going to Wembley. If we got there twice in a week, and, we got to say we were fortunate after the first game. Man City never played particularly well, but they played better than us first game. So to get a second chance, we wasn't going to give it up. And, we played really well in the second game, and it was a brilliant game. People talk about Ricky's goals. Garth Crooks scored, but nobody even mentions Mackenzie's goal, which was a volley. It was an amazing goal. And, it was a brilliant night. I would have thought we had 3/4 of the stadium because it was back in London and Man City only took 1/4 of their tickets. So, we had most of the support and we wasn't giving up this time. We made sure that, we were properly ready for the game and, we prepared properly. And it was a brilliant game, though, having taken the lead after, I think it was about 5-6 minutes. Ozzy had a shot which took 2 deflections, but it went to Archibald, who was blocked, and it bounced out to Ricky Villa, who whacked it in the back of the net. I think from that moment onwards, Ricky was unplayable that night. He was, you could see the confidence come back in him, and he was brilliant on the night.
Definitely. And you mentioned Ricky's first goal there. Of course, the second goal, Tottenham's third goal, winning goal on the night. Yeah. We've seen the images, like we said, it's replayed every year. In that replay, when we see it, you can see Garth Crooks, he does the, like with his foot, when Ricky takes it.
Well, he didn't move very far, did he? When sort of, I remember I made a tackle on the edge of the box, played it to Tony Galvin. Tony Galvin ran down the wing, cut back inside and sort of laid it into Ricky. Well, Garth Crooks was on the edge of the box at that time. So Ricky picked the ball up and started running, and he beat 3 players, cut back inside, and Garth Crooks was still in the same position, hadn't moved. And with that, Ricky cut inside, beat Garth, went past 2 more defenders, and then whacked it under Joe Corrigan coming in. Garth was still where he was when Ricky picked the ball up 40 yards away. So, you look at that and you think, well, was it good play by Garth, or did he just make it more difficult for Ricky Vivia? But Ricky was amazing that night. It was an amazing goal, probably the best goal ever scored in the cup final, and that's why it gets played every year.
Definitely. And what were the celebrations like afterwards?
Oh, it was amazing. We you wouldn't believe it, but after the first game, the club had booked the Royal Lancaster Hotel. So that's where we were going to go back to afterwards. But we still went back there afterwards and had a drink and had a party after the first game at the 1-1 draw. So the second one was we went back to the Chanticleer, which was part of Tottenham Stadium, the old stadium. We went in there and I got out. I think I had to go to hospital the next day, Josh. I had to go and have my teeth done because I played that night with 3 less teeth and a broken tooth in my mouth. And so I had an appointment at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, I left the Chanticleer at 7:15, went home, fell asleep on the settee, and then at 10:30 in the morning, my wife got a phone call asking where I was, and she said, well, I don't think he can have an operation because he's still drunk from last night. And they said, oh, bring him in, we won't give him any anaesthetic, and we'll fix his mouth for him, for his teeth. And so she took me in, and I had the operation, and then 9 hours later, I woke up with new teeth. So it was amazing. It was amazing.